Good morning, beautiful ones. How are you all doing on this beautiful Monday morning? Now then, guys, in today's tutorial, something totally different. I've never done this before in my entire life, so it could all end in utter disaster. I'm going to be attempting to permanently straighten my whiskers, but I'll be using a perm kit. Can you see this is one of those end curl kits? So it's basically, this is for shorter hair. However, I was thinking yesterday that the theory must apply that, you know, if it can curl hair, it can certainly straighten hair. All we need to do is just apply it slightly differently. So if that sounds like something you guys are interested in, stay tuned. So I guess a good question would be, guys, is why? Why on earth would anyone want to straighten a beard? For me, it is because my beard is so curly. My whole hair is curly on my head, and bodily hair is very curly too. And my beard, it tends to grow up my nostril. It tends to grow this way as opposed to this way, if that makes sense. And it doesn't irritate me so much anymore because I'm trying to keep it short, and it's my top lip basically. But can you see here and here these, because I'm trying to go into a point too, but there you can see that piece there, can't you? Just show what I mean. It just grows out. It has a will and a life of its own. So it's time that I took control, I think. So that's why. And this cost me something like £4, something really cheap, £4.99, I believe I paid for it from Wilko's. And as I've said, it's pin up end curl. So, and in the box you get the first one you need is the waving lotion, and this is the one. And basically what it does is, if you think of a strand of hair, and within the strand of hair it are like little fibres, and say they're all stood up like that to give, say that's your strand of hair going that way. Imagine a tube, and within it are hairs which are all standing vertically. What the waving lotion does, get it right, man. Okay, will do. I'll try my hardest, guys. What the waving lotion does is it basically, those vertical fibers, it basically just strips them all and makes them all loose. So within the tube of hair, you've got those hairs are not standing up anymore. They're all basically at this sort of angle. And so what we need to do, and you need to give that half an hour to work, and then you go and rinse it off, and then you go in with your post-curl neutralizer. And what this does is it basically resets those fibers. So what we're trying to do is, whilst the permanent waving lotion is on, and those fibers are at that sort of angle, we need to try and get them flatter. Do you know what I mean? So that it gives the hair a much straighter sort of look. And by going in with a neutralizer afterwards, all that will do is it just sets those in place. So as opposed to being like that, they're like that within that tube of hair. Is anyone confused? God, I hope not. I really hope not, guys. I'm a bit confused myself, but hey ho. And at severe risk of repeating myself, beautiful ones, I thought that, you know, if it can add a curl to hair, all we need to do is just to add it, apply it slightly differently than the curling method. So, and what you do to get a curl is in your hair is you need to put curlers in your hair to give your hair the shape you want, so that when you put the perming lotion on, it basically changes the entire structure of your hair, so that your hair then resembles or basically conforms to the curl you've put into your hair. So what we'll be doing today is, once the perming lotion is on this old beard, as I will be, using my filthy old brush, and this is a hairbrush, sorry, a toothbrush I used to dye my beard with. So once the perming lotion is on this beard, I'll be brushing it downwards and doing that very often as well, possibly once every 2 or 3 minutes, just to give it that, you know, to reinforce the fibers going, as opposed to going that way. And then I'll go and rinse it off, and then I think I might have to do the same with the neutralizing lotion. However, should we crack on? Let's crack on. And in this box, guys, you also get a thing of instructions, obviously, because we need to know what we're doing, don't we? And you also get the 2 bottles, which I've already showed you, that one and that one. And you also get a little sponge, and I'll show you what that's for in a minute. But you also get this one, which is I don't really know what these are for actually, but it's like a book of very fine sort of papers. And I just thought, well, I'm not going to use those today, but just tear one of those off, and you never guess what I'm going to use that for. You know, I have oily skin. Well, sometimes it's oily. It's just to blot excess oil. And I know for a fact that Clinique used to sell something similar, a very rubberized sort of sheets, I think they were, but it was something like £10 or £15. This one, and there are hundreds in there, look. Can you see all of those? That didn't cost me anything. It came in the box with it. Right, okay, shall I? Yeah, okay, will do. So beautiful. And you'll also need to go and get yourself a little plastic or ceramic bowl, something which you don't mind getting, you know, dirty, or well, you don't mind if it breaks. I can't imagine why it would break, but plastic would probably be better. So, and first of all, we need to go in with our waving lotion. This is part 1. So, and they tell you to pour it into a bowl. So we'll have to do that now. So in he goes. Wow. Liquidy. It's just like water. Oh, goodness. Oh, that stinks. Oh, dear God. And what you'll also need is to wear an old t-shirt or something, and get plenty of towels. And you'll also need your J cloth. My whole flat now stinks of perming lotion. But can you see that in there, guys? And with the little sponge, what they're telling you to do is to work this up into a foam. So let's try that, shall we? It's not working into a foam. Can you see? It's just staying liquid. I don't really know what I'm doing. It is foaming up. So, and I just don't know whether it's going to stay as a liquid or what. I just don't know. And they also tell you to put gloves on, guys. Can you see that's foaming up in there now? I hope you can see that. So all I've done is I've just swirled the sponge in there about, I'm just doing it constantly at the minute to get a nice foam. Can you see what's happening? God, it stinks. Wow, it smells really ammonia-ish. Do you know what I mean? It's that foul ammonia. It just makes really chemically, but it is chemicals, isn't it? So guys, I don't think it's going to get any more foamy than that. Can you see in there? It's just turned into like a white froth, and I've got my sponge which I'll be using to apply him onto my beard with. So without any further waffle, I'll can you see that sponge there? It's covered in put him over there, I think. Covered in perming lotion. So without any further waffle, I'll start getting this onto this old facial. I'll do that. And the reason you need an old t-shirt, guys, is because perming lotion, something like a perming lotion, could potentially bleach clothes, and it will certainly lighten up my beard. Although my beard's jet black, it will lighten up possibly by 2 or 3 shades, and hopefully not too much. And then I might dye either today or tomorrow because I don't want to over-process my facial hair. So without any further waffle, I'll start getting him onto these whiskers. It doesn't sting as such. There's no burning sensation or anything like that, but I'm trying to work it into all of my my facial hair. They tell you to put Vaseline on, your surrounding skin for a head of hair application. Get it right, please, man. Okay, will do. And it doesn't, the foam doesn't, sometimes foams break down, don't they, the minute they're exposed to air, but this one seems to stay true. So it's quite easy to apply, actually, beautiful ones. And the reason I decided to do this today is because my mum, bless it, always used to straighten her hair. My mum's got very, very curly hair. My dad's got polka straight hair. And I've inherited my mum's frizziness, which I don't mind at all, because I've also inherited a lot else from my mum, including my personality and, the goodness in me. Right, okay, so that's, and I don't know whether it should be saturated or not, but you need to leave it on for half an hour once this is done. Get onto the old stosh. You all okay, beautiful ones? Thank you so much for being with me today. I thought, the House of Joseph, we can't just do makeup all the time, can we? So, and as I said, I've never ever done this before in my entire, oh, sugar, can you see my t-shirt? I'll have to show you a little bit later on, but it's covered in drops of perming lotion, but luckily it's an old t-shirt. Oh. Taking care to avoid mouth. And what I might do is try and concentrate it around the sides. And I certainly want, my top lip is, my moustache is obviously a bit unruly, but it's nowhere near as willful and as naughty as my beard is. Does that make sense, guys? I hope so. And if you're doing this in a closed room, I would certainly open all the windows. My window's open right next door to me, but because it stinks. And as I said, what this is doing is it's breaking up all of those rods which are holding thick curly hair in place. And then once this is on and we've rinsed it off after half an hour, we need to realign them, and that's what we'll be doing with the setting lotion. Try and work that into this beard, because obviously my beard's really thick and annoyingly curly. So, and this is just an experiment, really, guys. I mean, obviously I can't do this. Certainly won't be able to do it as often as I dye my beard, which is once every 2 or 3 days, depending on what I've got going on. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I have friends' coffee and stuff, or events, outings and stuff like that, or even dates, in which case I like to have my beard looking, freshly dyed. So, right, okay, that's plenty of him on. I might just put a little bit more on the old top lip. How does that sound? Shall I do that? I'll do that. And can you see I'm working, going one way and then the other, just to ensure that each strand of hair is totally coated in perming lotion. And bless them, Pinup, they have tried to mask the foul smell by adding possibly a drop of perfume or something, but you can't ever get rid of that ammonia sort of stench. Does that look like it's covered? Oh, hang on. Yeah, it does. It's so totally soaking wet now. Beautiful one. So put him over there. Give things a quick wipe, and then we'll move on to phase 2, shall we? Let's do that. So now, beautiful ones, I have this on my beard, so I'm going to go in with my manky old toothbrush, which again I just use this I would never use that to clean my teeth with. It looks like I do though sometimes because my teeth are yellow, but might stop waffling. Okay, so I'm going to comb him downwards. And by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm just, as I said, I'm realigning those vertical rods because they're all broken up now thanks to the firming lotion. And I suppose you could work it into a point now, couldn't I? Start working it into a point, and hopefully the whole rationale behind doing this is that my beard remembers this shape. It's always a bit of fun to watch, isn't it, guys, as well? Man slapping perming lotion onto, 50-year-old man slapping perming lotion onto his facial whiskers on a Monday morning. What's not to love, eh? What's not to love? Right, okay. I've just felt it sort of, and as the perming lotion starts working and starts to, what's the word I used? Misalign or realign those, or basically break up those those bonds which are facing that, where you can feel it actually change the nature of now. My beard feels a lot finer now. Does that make sense? Whereas before it felt really coarse and a little bit like copper wire. But I'm just going to apply a little bit more of this into Stoshy. Nearly done here, guys. I'm just going to comb it down into to realign those fibres. Try and get him into a point. And then it's just a case of waiting. But once you put the perming applicator, sorry, the neutralizing thing on, you'll have to then you'll have to comb it into place regularly every 2 or 3 minutes or something. Just to, don't get it in your mouth. You might end up poisoning your. I don't think they wouldn't be allowed to sell something which is toxic, but it can't do you any good. Or half a pint of perming lotion down your throat and in your tum-tum, can it? Right, okay, that will do for today. So beautiful ones. I gave that about 45-50 minutes in the end because obviously my hair is much coarser than most people's hair. So I thought that near enough 45 minutes should allow the old perming lotion to really break up those fibres. And I've rinsed it off now as well, and it basically just made my hair feel straight, made it feel a bit brittle. No, it hasn't. Really, not really dry as such, and I didn't wash it, so all I've just done is rinse the old perming lotion out. And so now we need to go in with the post-curl neutralizer, and you give that a shake, and it comes with a spout or a funnel sort of thing, and you just take that off. I assume that's what I'm doing. Much of this in the dark though, guys. So you just screw that one on there, give that a quick shake, and can you see that's foamed up in there? It was like a liquid, now it's foamed up. And so I have my neutralizer in my bowl here, and I need to try and make this into a foam somehow because I wasn't getting on with the funnel thing, the attachment onto the bottle. So again, I'm just going to just give this a quick mix together, and it is foaming up quite readily. Can you see that? It's still really liquidy though, and if this was the hair dye, I'd just go in with a little drop of xanthan gum just to try and thicken it up. But because this is unfamiliar territory to me here. I've never done this before, as I've already said, so I don't think it's going to get any thicker than that. So I'm just going to start applying this. Okay, so it just goes on as a liquid, but it turns into a foam the second you apply it. And the reason I'm doing this also is because if you've got curly hair on your head, and you want straight hair, permanent straight hair, this could be an option for you. I mean, they do sell permanent straightening hair kits, but for some reason they're really expensive. Whereas, the theory that I had was the fact that, if it can make curly hair, or straight hair curly, it can make curly hair straight, can't it? All we need to do is just approach it from a different angle. Yeah, I remember my mum, when we used to live in New Zealand, She used to straighten her hair permanently, and it used to come in this really funky old box with a woman on the front with poker stripe straight hair, and it was just really, really 1970s-ish. Do you know what I mean? I suppose it's old ladies and purple rinse brigade, isn't it? But you know, doesn't matter, does it, guys? No. Wow, a little bit of this does go a really long way, guys. So just work that into the underneath, because that's an area that tends to get neglected quite severely, is the underneath. Obviously no one can really see that area unless you're as tall as I am, in which case people will see it. Do you know what I mean? Although I don't think anyone's going to come up to me and say, Mister, you've just permanently straightened your hair, although you've missed an area or a blob underneath your chin, which all and sundry can see. I just tell them to say, get a life to them. Do you know what I mean? Go and get yourself a life rather than commenting on my application of beard straightener. And obviously, to ensure each strand is coated, I'm just going to go sideways, down, up, and then, you know, and just do that over the entire area. And then once this is on, I'll have to start forming the point that which I want. I guess if this works, so you could do this with any sort of look on your hair, couldn't you? That you want, you know, to last. I don't think it would last forever, although it's called a permanent perm or a permanent curling kit. Nothing can really last forever until your hair grows out, obviously. But I don't think it would even last that long. Possibly a couple of weeks, but right, okay, that's more than enough of him on there. So now I need to realign the strands of hair. So just comb him downwards. Don't get it in your mouth, guys, like I just have. Rush me to accident emergency. Can see me lying in trauma, can't you, man? Swallowed way too much perming solution. Okay, so, wow. It feels really, really, really soft and fine. It just feels like the whole texture of my hair has utterly changed. It does. Right, just get rid of that one. Okay. And bring him into a point. Okay. Now, probably it said to leave on for 10-15 minutes. I'm going to leave it on for half an hour. So I'll be back at 9:30, and I'll be going in with my brush every once in a while and just, you know, straightening it out. But I'll see you in about half an hour. Okay. Right, beautiful one. So this is the finished look. Can you see it just feels far, far, far more fine than it ever has done in my entire life. And it doesn't stink. All I did was I just rinsed the neutralizing solution off. I didn't wash it because it says not to. I think it carries on working once you've removed the perming lotion. However, what I'm going to do is just go in with a dollop of conditioner. I'll put this into my bowl. Can you see that? Put him over there. Otherwise, that's going to go everywhere. And what I'll do is I'll just use and I've washed my brush as well, so just work that into a more manageable state. And by doing this, what I'm going to do is just to hold it in place for as long as possible. Does that make sense? Hope so. And it will also help to condition the beard. It doesn't feel dry at all, though. In fact, it feels quite, you know, very good condition. But it's certainly changed the entire nature of my facial hair. So I'd say experiment successful. I basically just want it to stop, just try and stop it from growing up my nose. Do you know what I mean? And it does that on a daily basis. So once I've got this conditioner on here, the whole idea behind doing this is the fact that if I comb it back into shape, the shape I want, the only perming solution and neutralizer which is still in my hair will continue to work, but it will because we've now got we've got something to give it more shape and to hold it into shape. Do you know what I mean? It has definitely worked, guys. Absolutely, without a shadow of doubt. It's changed the entire nature of my hair. My hair just feels dead straight now. I don't think it would ever make it poker straight because, you know, unless you're born lucky with dead straight hair, then I just think all it's done is it's just relaxed put that over there. It's relaxed the wiriness and the unmanageability of my hair, of my facial hair. It's made it far more softer and just more manageable now. So hopefully it won't keep growing up my nose or trying to smother me as it does on a daily basis. and I'll leave that now. It's burning a little bit now, and that's only the conditioner, so there must be something in the conditioner which is irritating my skin. Considering I've had perming lotion and a neutralizer on my skin, the only thing which is irritating it now is the conditioner. Who knew? Do you know what, guys? It's made a huge difference to my face. It has. It's made my facial hair feel really soft, really fine, like dead straight hair. You know, before it felt really thick and copper wiry. Now it just feels really soft and really manageable. I just rinsed that layer of conditioner off, but it's definitely worked. I don't think, as I said, I don't think it would relax totally. What I'm trying to say is I don't think it would make your hair dead straight. Nothing can do that. However, it certainly relaxed it, made it far more manageable. So if you've got curly sort of wiry sort of hair and you want it a little bit straighter, then just use a perming solution. However, just flatten it to your head and keep brushing it through to try and, you know, realign those fibers, and especially when you're using the post curl neutralizer. That's the important stage, guys. But wow, I'm thrilled to bits. Obviously, I can't do this. As I said, I won't be able to do this all the time. But as an experiment, I think we've been successful, don't you? So, beautiful ones, in today's tutorial, we have learned how to straighten, permanently straighten curly, unruly, wiry sort of hair to make it a little bit more manageable using a perm solution or a perming kit, which just sounds counterproductive or counterintuitive, doesn't it? However, it has absolutely worked. My fur? Am I a bear now? No, I'm so not. But you know, my facial hair feels soft, manageable, far straighter than it ever was before. And yeah, so, and what we did is we applied the perming solution first of all, but we didn't curl our hair, we didn't put our hair in rollers. All we did, we tried to coax it into a straighter shape, didn't we? And then we went in with the post curl I rinsed that layer off, and then we went in with the post curl neutralizer. Did exactly the same, although this time I kept flattening it down against the contours of my face. And then we rinsed it off and we applied some conditioner just to add a little bit of softness to it, because you know, the processing any sort of hair will strip the goodness out of your hair, and we are rearranging those fibers so they're not like that, they're like that now. But yeah, no, I'm thrilled to bits about that. Okay, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Similarly, consider subscribing so you're kept abreast of each time I release new videos, which is pretty regularly. And all that remains is for me to wish you gorgeous ones a beautiful Monday, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Lots of love. Hello, beautiful ones. I'm out and about, just going to go up to the shops to go and get something for tea. I just wanted you to see the beard. It's obviously got a bit of conditioner in it still, that's the white in it, but as it dries it will hold it into place, and it's just dead straight now, so I'm really, really chuffed. Experiment complete, over and done with. Lots of love. Take care.